Okay, E, jazz, melodic, minor scale. I'll do this one up to double altissimo B natural. Okay, that was the double altissimo C sharp. So once we get to our palm E, we can use this B flat with the high F sharp key in order to play F sharp. And that makes it really easy to go to altissimo G, because all we do is just slide up. And now we have our 1 with high F sharp key in order to play altissimo G. If you do not have a high F sharp key on your saxophone, you can use the front F. I would advise holding the G sharp key because it's going to add stability to the next note, with the side B flat in order to play that high F sharp. And then all you do is just lift the 2 finger and you're on altissimo G. So altissimo A is what I call a vented G sharp, just like G sharp with the first finger up. Altissimo B, you can add -1, or the E flat key, I call it -1. You don't really need 2, 3, or the G sharp key in order to play that note, but it helps keep that note in tune if you have those extra fingers down. But the actual fingering, just the E flat key by itself. Altissimo C sharp is just the 1 key. Altissimo D sharp, all open. Altissimo E, in this case, I would use 5, just the 5 finger by itself. I've mentioned this in other videos, but what it does is activate this bis key. It's just really impractical to play just the bis key by itself with the left hand. So we can do that with 4, 5, or 6. But in this case, because it's going to set us up very nicely to go to the note above, I'm going to use just 5 in order to play altissimo E. So altissimo F sharp, I'll add 0, or the palm D, and I'll add the shadow key, or the side E, to that 5 finger. Altissimo G, you want to be careful coming from that fingering of high F sharp to this double altissimo G fingering, because it can push this double altissimo G sharp. If you're finding that using that system, this note is a little too high pitch, you can use 3, palm D, and side E in order to play altissimo F sharp. And that puts us in a nice position to get to double altissimo G using our vented G fingering. So that's just 2 and 3 in order to play double altissimo G. Double altissimo A, just 1. Double altissimo B, we can just go back to our -1 with the E flat key. I almost always have this C key with that, just to stabilize it. I'm just used to it, but you don't really need the 2 key in order to play that double altissimo B natural. And then double altissimo C natural, front key with high F sharp key. You don't have a high F sharp key, you can use the side E, but you're gonna have to dig for that one. That one might come in a bit low pitch. And then double altissimo D sharp, or E flat, but D sharp in this case. You can use a vented G sharp. And if that note is coming in a little too low pitch, you can add 4, 5, and 6 with the E flat key. I usually do that if my reed is getting tired and that note isn't quite coming up in pitch. And then double altissimo E, just like A, just 1 and 2. All right, that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. See ya.